Boomer Law 3216 says you're gonna spend as much money as you humanly can on a kick-ass rifle. Spend twice that amount on an awesome optic, or go on Amazon and buy the cheapest optic you can find. Then what we're gonna do, spend the money, we're gonna go to a range. All this land, we're not gonna use a single inch of it. We're just gonna sit still in one spot and shoot all day from one spot. We're not gonna get any cardio in. We're not gonna do any sort of shoot, move, communicate. We're gonna get no training in. But I am older and I'm obviously wiser. I've never trained a day in my life other than this. So clearly I know more than anyone else out there. Lads, ladies, fellow countrymen and women, thank you for tuning in to another Mr. Hollywood episode. Today, I have Mr. Pogue, lifetime friend. We've known each other since high school, I think a little bit of middle school as well. Yeah. Pogue is in the military. Real quick, you want to tell a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, for those out there, I am a Pogue. I don't claim myself as a grunt, but I am in the military, and I do happen to have a lot of time behind a lot of issued gear. A lot of people simp over military grade, but I'm here to tell you the military grade is not always the best.
So today, guys, we're going to go over military issue gear. Shooter ready. Stand by. Go. All right, guys, so we just got done shooting with the plates, or actually Mr. Smith here just got done shooting with his plates on, both in his issued
IMTV Improved Modular Tactical Vest.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what they issue you guys?
That's what they issue us. They're phasing it out more towards the plate care, which is just a slimmed down version of it, but sometimes you'll see some Pogue units, supply guys get issued this, so.
Okay.
Yep.
And then the Tactical Tailor plate carrier that I did a video on, I think that's the most recent one. But yeah, he tried both that. What'd you think? What'd you like?
I like yours. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like I can get a good, stock placement, good cheek weld. It's a lot lighter. I felt a lot lighter. Did miss one shot, but that was just on me. But if I was taking my time a little bit more, I think I would have been fine. But I do prefer this. Compared to this is, what they issue us. It's not the best. It's not the most comfortable. You got a lot of extra Kevlar that sometimes you won't necessarily need except for stopping shrapnel. But again, mission dictates equipment. But if I were just in my backyard or home defense or anything like that, I would definitely recommend this for running and gunning. This more for stationary folks like supply or artillery units that are just in one area for quite a bit, a long time. But for hiking and stuff, I would recommend going light. Lighter is better, but
yeah, and you bring up a good point with the hiking. So for us guys, we're getting more into the civilian realm, right? We're not going to be, like you said, attached with the unit, firing off mortars or artillery and shit like that. So with us in our civilian route, you got to think about long-term goals, right? If we're hiking and shit and we're going through all these hills and valleys and shit, we're going to want something a little bit more lighter, something that you can throw a ruck on and march a lot easier. Because I can't imagine, have you rucked with this?
We've had, and it's gonna lie how many heat cases we've seen people hiking with this shit on. And like, again, IMTV is not the best for hiking, but if you're in a conflict zone where you expect counter battery artillery fire to come to your position, this could save your life from shrapnel. But again, as civilians, I don't think we need to worry about that. At least not yet. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no shit. Not yet. The days are upon us. So you said heat exhaustion and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So for you guys that have been subscribers with me for the longest time, being in the EMS such as I have been, we all know what happens with heat strokes. We're shoving ice up asses. So
the silver bullet,
dude, the silver bullet. Yeah, man.
All the corpsmen.
Oh, what is Grantham do? He goes, if you've ever had a silver bullet shoved up your ass, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, guys. Get in the comment section.
What are your thoughts on the plates? Like, how do they feel in your carrier since you tried them on?
Man, so my last video, right, we talked about my abrasion towards plate carriers. I don't like wearing plates. I don't really care for them. However, these Sappy plates that he has, Mr. Smith, these are fantastic. These are much lighter. The plates that I was running were definitely old, and they were heavy as hell. They were probably 10 pounds each. So I had about an extra 20 pounds that it sucked. But these we got probably level 4, right?
I would say, yeah, level 4 says stop 7.62 APM2. That's those black tip rounds usually. Again, this is what they issue. So you can't get this off the market. You have to get this aftermarket. It's most likely on eBay if you're looking to get these. Usually it's folks that know connects from SIF or Supply that find a way to get them out. So again, like buyer beware when you buy these.
The pirates of the military.
The pirates, the guys that get out of the military and never turn in their gear. That's usually where these come from.
The boys are supplying this.
I mean, I agree. I've seen tests on these on YouTube. They're effective. But again, just check the back date. This one's last inspected 2021, so it's still good. If you see anything in early 2000s, I'd be careful because these do have a shelf life. So
cool. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So rocking these, fantastic. So I'm kind of eating my own words in the sense that I was saying, no, I'm not running body armor. I'm not doing this. However, with these and having these on and doing our drills with the sandbag and stuff, it wasn't that noticeable. I really wasn't bothered by it that much. So I think I probably misled you guys. The reason why I wasn't going to wear the plates I had, too heavy. However, if you guys can handle it, and honestly, just go out, get cardio, build your legs up, guys. Because having this is the life or death kind of scenario. Would you rather live or not? So after putting all the little bitch thoughts in the back of your mind and out, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to suck it up. Get them. I think we probably should. But like I said, there's a time and place for it, right? And I know that's an easy cop-out. I still am skeptical. I still am probably thinking, I'd rather be light on my feet. However, running something like this, that's a little bit better than what I had, kind of changing my mind. I'm kind of going back and forth. So Heskos, you ever worn Heskos? You know guys that wear Heskos?
I've personally never worked with guys that run those yet. I can't 100% speak on that topic, but yeah, I haven't really personally worked with that myself. But
yeah, we're looking. We talked about this earlier too, but we're looking at Heskos and then Safe Life Defense. They have the FRAS rifle
that's
plates.
What you should probably maybe get that and test that, because again, I've seen those videos on YouTube, but they could be shill. You never know.
Yeah.
So I'd like to get my hands on that because I've always wanted to buy them.
They look great, man. I mean, they're flexible.
Yeah.
I mean, how could you not want that? Because we're running around and we're getting down out here and we're having to hit the dirt and shit and get prone and get into funky situations every now and then. For the most part, this is pretty static positions that we'll run to, but having that little bit of flexibility that's not kind of pinching on your gut or whatever, and helping your diaphragm extend a little bit more to get that oxygen in. That's
I think another factor too about them is you have more coverage with that because it's essentially a soft armor, but rated for rifle rounds, so you get more coverage. Like you get these side areas covered. From what I've seen, I've actually had an opportunity last time I was in Vegas, visited. They actually have a shop there, and I was able to try some on, and it was relatively comfortable, and it had a lot of coverage. I just want to be able to validate that coverage is adequate and actually can stop certain rounds. But
good. Yeah. So that's the thing too, guys. So when you head over to Safe Life Defense, and I'll put a link down in this video, but Safe Life Defense, they're going to have panels and then plates. The FRAS system is going to have the plates. So just a SAPI plate like this, but it's FRAS. So it's the flexible rifle armor system. And then you'll have a panel. A panel fits this whole thing essentially, right? So if you get the panels, you'll have to get aftermarket vests like this or Safe Life Defense's vest, which I have their Safe Life Defense vest. Not great. It doesn't fit my needs, but we'll go over and do a video on how to trick that thing out, and then we'll compare the old version and the new version that I tricked out. So let's talk a little bit more about setup. So we talked about kit and what they issue and what us civilians kind of use. So let's talk about kit. Is there anything? Talk about your kit. Why do you run shit the way you run it?
So my POGAS doesn't have too much experience besides 6 months at TBS. For those of you to know what that is, you probably already know what rank I am. So I keep it simple. I keep my dual mag pouches in the front because I like to have workspace right here. When I lay to the prone, people bitch about, it keeps me, an inch off the deck. I don't think it's that big of an issue. I don't have a problem getting on the prone. I've shot, I think, 3 ARQs now with it. So that's our new rifle call where you have to get in the prone full kit. So I personally just like having everything on the front. Again, this isn't my current issued one. This is just an extra one I got off of eBay. My actual one is in Japan. However, this is similar to what I currently have set up. The only thing I'm missing is my IFAK on here, but 3 mag pouches on the front. And then a lot of you might be, cringing, but I like to keep my dump pouch actually on my plate carrier. I'm not a big fan of the battle belt, just from past experience of hiking. I don't like the weight on my hips. I prefer everything just on my chest. And also I'm a very simple dude. I like to not have to have 3 pieces of gear, like my pack,
Yeah.
my belt, my flag. I like to keep it just less is better for me personally.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've worked with it. I mean, it works. I've seen people set it up like this. Again, I see a lot of artillery guys set it up like this. A couple infantry guys do it like here. But again, it's all shooter's preference.
Yeah.
But that's just how I run my setup. Tell me about yours.
Yeah. So I saw you running around with this. I like how he has this set up on his side, his cummerbund a little bit better than mine. So I typically have my cummerbund set up with an admin pouch for things that I can, if we have some downtime and I'm like, hey, I don't need all this shit right now. You know, typically, because we'll do airsoft games in it, I'll do range days and all kinds of other miscellaneous shit. I like to be able to take it off, and then I get to my admin pouch for maybe it's got water purification, maybe it's got some like Pedialyte little packets, whatever. Also TQ stuff and little placement that I can easily get to, but mainly I'll put the drop or the dump pouch on a belt. I'll have it right under the mag. And for me, the belt I only have as a piece of gear as if, okay, I need something quick and easy and something to throw on. It's honestly, one, it's mainly just to hold up the pants. I typically run my belt pretty light. I don't like having all that bullshit on here. I like having the IFAK here though, right below, or right about my waist, right at the back. I like having it there. It's more comfortable to drive in, and guys typically know or look for an IFAK in that position. And it kind of saves some real estate on my plate carrier, because the thing is, for us civilians, you know, we're running around with a lot smaller pieces of kit. It's not so big, it's not so clunky.
Yeah.
But I saw him have all his stuff mainly on his vest, and I kind of like that idea a little bit more. I like the idea of getting away from a belt, only because too, we have to take in mind and consideration when we're getting into these positions, there's tertiary positions that you're going to go through to get down there. So if you're standing going to prone, you're eventually going to squat and do this little kneel and stuff. The belt starts getting a little annoying having to get into certain positions. This is obviously why I have a much thinner belt. It's like a 2-inch, maybe 1 1/4 size belt, but it does kind of suck. And you, Mr. Smith, he was getting down pretty quick. He didn't have his belt on or any tack belt, just a leather belt. He's getting down faster than me, for sure. I got a little bit more junk in the trunk, so I'm not as equipped as the Marine. But yeah, he was getting down much quicker, getting shots on target a lot quicker. And I'm not blaming it all on the belt. It's, you know, definitely I need to practice more. But I definitely noticed, oh man, I wish this was off. You know, it's kind of like a, but it does do the specific jobs that I like. So I'm very medical oriented, and I like having all the meds here. But if you did have a battle belt, what would you put on it?
So that's another thing. I'm not entirely against battle belts. It's just the battle belts they issue, like, they are not small. They are like literally this thick. It's literally walking around with like almost a cummerbund. Looks like a cummerbund almost to an extent. Like, it's no joke. I wish I had that piece of kit to show y'all, but that's the only reason why I don't like that specific battle belt issue, is just it's too cumbersome. But if I did have to rock a battle belt, I would want to try to put my dump pouch on it. Again, I'm very biased of keeping my IFAK on my plate carrier, because again, even some unit SOPs, it's like, hey, everyone will keep their IFAK on their plate carrier. So if you get down, if your guy is, you know, for, you know, hypothetical combat situation, if you get hit, the guy that's coming to help you is going to use your own IFAK to fix you up. He's not using his IFAK to fix you. That's just how it is. So again, they usually tell us where to keep the IFAK, and usually SOP is dictated to keep it on the plate carrier of some sort. But yeah, if I were to run a battle belt, I would try to keep it light, maybe just a dump pouch. If I was rocking a pistol, maybe some magazines and something to holster my pistol. But other than that, just I'll try to keep everything on the IMTV or your plate carrier to an extent. But that's just me, though. Yeah,
and you know, for getting to the civilian side of EMS, for us techs and medics, when we have to work on cops and stuff, sometimes they'll have an ankle med, you know, little pouch. So that's kind of considered their IFAK. Obviously, we'll have more stuff in our truck, but they typically always have it on their vest or their belt. I rarely see cops have a lot of stuff on their belt and shit, because, you know, they're running in this, you know, it's clanking around and shit. You know, they gotta catch this kid that's, you know, runs a 3-second 40, bro. He's gotta book it. So yeah, that's another point, and I'm glad he brought that up. But the IFAKs are gonna go where the medical expert, the medical tech or medic, is going to know where it's at, right? So if I'm running EMS, if I'm running your medic or your tech or whatever, I need to know where everyone's stuff is at. I don't need to be, you know, rifling through shit trying to find, okay, well, where's his shears? Where is his tourniquet? Where is his IV starter kit? Where's all this stuff, right? I need to know, hey, everyone has it in this spot. So that's something to think about, guys. For you civilians, whoever's running EMS in your little group, in your community, your squad, whatever, you need to be the leader when it comes to medical. You need to tell everybody, everyone will have their IFAK at this specific spot. Doesn't really matter where. I mean, I don't think it matters, right?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just, mission dictates equipment. So, if everyone knows where they keep it at, it's a little bit easier to be like, hey, if he's down, I know where his stuff is. Like, simple like that.
Yeah, just get to it. Yep, absolutely. So how do you feel about this plaque? Did you have a complaint about anything of the setup I had?
No, I mean, even with the plates in, like, it was definitely a lot lighter. I could breathe a little bit more when I was running. I didn't feel like as tired. Getting off the deck real quick, I mean, was like, oh, this is easy. Like, a lot lighter. I think having the 3 mags is more suited for, civilians. Like, again, like, mission dictates equipment. I know I keep saying that like an NPC, but for people going out of patrol base, who knows when you'll return from that patrol. So you want to have as much ammo as possible. That's why I rock the dual mag patches with usually total of 6 rounds. But I think 3 magazines is adequate for just, quick bug out, just have some self-defense load, not looking to engage a target, usually trying to, wreck or get out usually. So bug out.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I have 5 places for mags. I just didn't bring all of my mags, unfortunately. I forgot my whole thing of ammo. But I'll have 5. I'll have 3 here and then 2 on the sides, 1 on my belt and then 1 in the gun. So I'll have 7 combat, loadout. And which you actually bring me to another point. So everything on my chest is typically not of a like a quick tactical fast reload and shit. That's on my belt. I have this quick, release mag, and I'll try and show you later. But that's where I do all my speed. All my speed comes from my belt. All of the long duration and engagements and suppression and all that. That's for the chest rig, plate carrier, whatever. That's what that's for. I'm not trying to be fast and a Navy SEAL or SF guy with the plate carrier. I just need it to fit, the role of the need, to hike, to march, to ruck, wherever the right. So, yeah, that's the biggest deal. What kind of admin pouches? Because that's a big one for me as an admin pouch.
So admin pouch, I usually, when I did a lot of land nav back at TBS and shit, I would usually just stuff everything in here. I'm very simple. I'd put my maps, laminated maps in here, pens and shit. They do have issued admin pouches where I've seen people put mollied onto here, but I personally don't like putting too much up here because, again, then I already have enough stuff on my chest. But admin pouches, you can always more than welcome to. Yeah. They give you a little NVG holder you can use as an admin pouch. That's usually placed right here. Again, a lot of it I don't have with me. It's in Japan. This is just what I was able to order off eBay. But yeah, I mean, I'm simple. I like to keep everything in my kangaroo pouch. Yeah. Dip cans. Simple shit like that.
Oh, I know.
But yeah, I mean, I know that's just personally me. I like to do more with less, but that's just the mentality of the Marine Corps. So,
I know. Yeah, I know you guys have like little titty pictures in there.
Yeah.
You got your
little anime,
Yeah, your waifu. Your waifu.
My waifu.
Hell yeah. You got your wintergreen mint.
Yep. Oh, Copenhagen, all that good stuff.
I know it well.
Well, this new generation of kids, it's all vape. So they just be out in the field vaping. And
they're USB. You're sucking on a USB, kids. I hope you know that. Be a man. Save the lungs, the gums. Let's go. Let's flip these hoes over like a gentleman. Give them a reach around. Talk.
So mine's bare, but if I was back in Japan, I usually would have a hydration pack. Yeah. Hydration carrier. So essentially, it's a molly webbing, and then instead of carrying an actual camelback, you would pull out the bladder and just put that bitch into this little pouch that they give you, and boom, you have a water source right there. Yeah. Definitely recommend taking the bladder out before you put a pack on. I've made that mistake where I've just put on my pack and boom, there goes your water for the day. Oh, and shit. Yeah, it was a bad day. So going the whole day without water essentially, but yeah, just food for thought. But that's usually what you'll see guys that run this type of flak is they'll always have a hydration pouch, usually, told by their corporals of some sort of like, hey, put your hydration pouch on the back of this regardless. Yeah. But just standard SOP and shit like that. But
I know we could probably spend another like 4 hours on this topic of kit, but let's go ahead and do real quick a final thought, and then we'll go ahead and move on with our rifles, which will be in the next video. So final thoughts coming to all this. We talked about armor and coverage. We talked about light and flexible. Final thoughts. Any final thoughts you want to give before our closing statement?
I would say don't get tricked out by military grade is the best. Because you got to realize we always do contracts by the cheapest, most affordable, and meets mission requirement, but it's going to be at the cheapest cost. So don't simp. don't show a lot of money for military grade. So a lot of civilian grade stuff is a lot better than military grade. So I would definitely do your research, but don't simp for military grade stuff. It's not always the best.
Yeah, I agree. I think all the videos we do and all the products that we have that we're showing off, it's all civilian made. You know, Tactical Tailor, even off the 511 out there, Condor. They're not all of it's going to be American made, but it is tailored for a civilian market. So guys, thank you so much for tuning into this video. Stay tuned for the next video coming up when we talk about our rifle setups with the military issues and then what we have and what we like. Guys, it's been a great video. Thank you so much, Mr. Smith.
Yep,
appreciate you, man. Yeah, of course. Till next time, God bless, return to Christ, subscribe, like, share, but most importantly, subscribe, like, share, comment on videos like this. It's the most important thing we have for American patriotism and our fellow countrymen everywhere. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up, guys. Appreciate it. Love you. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Everything else A box?
Yeah, everything else A. So yeah, you pulled one, but your time. So his time on these was much faster. The second round with the Tactical Tailor plate carrier was about, he was at like sitting 27, 28 seconds. The first one was 32 seconds. So he's much faster. He's much more lighter on his feet. He had one fuck up.
One fuck up, but everything else A box.
Yeah. So I mean, that one fuck up, that's still lethal. That's still a lung. You'll get a pneumothorax based off of this. If you don't know what that is, look it up. But yeah, attention pneumothorax here. His lungs fill up with blood. That's still a kill.
Yeah.
And he stopped him right here in his ticker. So
I do feel a lot lighter too, not gonna lie. And not only that, but just like I had a good shoulder weld, like a good stock placement, unlike the other thing. So yeah. Whew.